Thank you, Lisa. You may be seated. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Community in Citrus Heights. And please know whether you are joining us here at the Sylvan Community Center or on Zoom or on Facebook live stream, you are part of our high-tech congregation. And we are glad to be living in the future and to have all of those resources available to us. So let's take a moment of prayer as we realize. Before the service, I was talking to Bea, and I said, I learned to type on a manual typewriter, and I used carbon paper. I know things. I know a lot of things, and I am so glad to be living in the future. And I hope that you are also. And so we just rejoice. We rejoice this day as it appears to us, as it has unfolded in the world and in our lives. And we thank God for every blessing. And so it is. Amen. So we've asked the secretary of our board of directors to read the daily words. So Ashley Forsythe will come forward. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Today is Sunday, October 1st, 2023, and the word for today is prosperity. Practicing gratitude deepens my experience of prosperity. My life may be full of blessings, my family and friends, my home, my memories and experiences, but it can be easy to take it for granted if I focus more on what I'm missing rather than what I have. Being thankful, expressing my gratitude for my good, opens my heart, but it also opens my eyes to the many ways I am prosperous. I count my blessings, pausing to give thanks for each one. The more often I do this, the more feelings of gratitude will fill my heart, crowding out constricted feelings of scarcity, fear, or envy. From the serenity I feel in my heart to the peace that calms my mind, I am prosperous. As I greet each day with a prayer of thanks, my blessings abound. The scripture today is from Psalm 36:8, and it reads, "They feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights." And the word for today is prosperity. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to sing a song together. Our first congregational song is called Our Thoughts, Our Prayers. Let's rise to do this. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what we're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a place of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. One more time. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers, and charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and all that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Thank you. You may be seated. Now read that another typewriter. So guess what the name of our Sunday featurette is? Oh, love affirmations. And you might think that these are affirmations about love. Not necessarily. It has to do with the wording of the affirmation and the feeling that it invokes. In Unity, we really understand the power of affirmations and denials. And we understand why we usually word them in the first person, present tense, like, I am prosperous, or I am strong and healthy. Affirming that something is so imprints it in our consciousness. And this is one of the keys to the law of mind action. So I want to make sure we've got the cameras so that this can be seen real well, because we're going to be reading some affirmations together, and I want the folks on Zoom to be able to see them. I was recently introduced to a different style of wording. And I thought there was nothing new under the sun, not for me. I've been in Unity over 30 years. Imagine my surprise. It is still first person. It is still present tense, but it adds the power of emotion. Our emotions are closely connected to our beliefs, and the combination of the two adds strength to our affirmations. So it works like this. I love being prosperous, as compared to I am prosperous. Or, I love that I am prosperous. Or, I love the way that prosperity flows into my life. We used love affirmations in our autumn equinox gathering at Lightweaver. And there are copies of the handouts that we use, which are the same as the ones we're going to read in the service, on the table in the lobby, so you can just help yourself. Now, later in the service, we have our talk. We have our featurette, and then we have our talk, which sometimes we call our lesson, or other churches, they call the sermon. And today's talk is about how our attack thoughts attack our invulnerability. And we will explore those ideas from A Course in Miracles. But what does one do when one realizes one's thinking attack thoughts? How do we change the beliefs that led us to those thoughts? Well, in true Unity fashion, we can use affirmations. We can use affirmations and denials to change our thoughts. So this featurette is arming us. It's giving us some of the answers that we're going to need later in the service when we have our talk. So we have 10 of these in PowerPoint, and we'll read them aloud together, each one of them 2 times. So if we can have the first slide. And we'll read the first one together. I love how my good flows to me. I love how my good. Okay, remember, we're reading each one 2 times. So we'll go back to the first one and read it once more together. I love how my good flows to me. Okay, now. I love my strong and healthy body. I love my strong and healthy body. We're pausing so that we don't go so fast that it doesn't soak in. Okay. I love the way I easily forgive. I love the way I easily forgive. All right, our next slide, please. Together. I love the great friends I attract. I love the great friends I attract. And I love the easy way I understand things. I love the easy way I understand things. And I love my many skills and talents. I love my many skills and talents. And then for our next slide, I love my warm family life. I love my warm family life. And I love how quickly I recover from slights and wounds. Again, I love how quickly I recover from slights and wounds. And this one, I love my relationship with things of spirit. I love my relationship with things of spirit. And so we have one more, and it got its own slides. So let's say this one twice. I love living in this age of peace. And again. I love living in this age of peace. Leave that one up for a while, please, Ashley. This is an all-purpose affirmation to use when you are upset about the violence you see in the world, when what you hear about global warming worries you, when you're thinking about war, or the inequality of wealth distribution in our economy. For the appearance of all those things is also caused by our beliefs. And the cure for all the ills of the world is to understand and master our minds. And thus ends the featurette. Thank you for your participation.
All right, you ready to sing another song? All right, this one is, sorry, I was just doing some adjusting with the marvels of technology. You know, you can do almost everything in the world with one iPad. You know that, right? All right, this is called Ain't Gonna Carry That Load, and this is by Mark Stanton Welch, who is our dearly beloved singer who works with our youth. So let's stand up again for this one. What is it that you want to release today? I ain't gonna carry that load no more. I ain't gonna carry that load. I'm gonna take that pain and lay it down, 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 down. I ain't gonna carry that load no more. I ain't gonna carry that load. I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let go. Okay, we're gonna have to let go of something else besides pain. So somebody call out what we should let go of this time. Stress, okay. I ain't gonna carry that load no more. I ain't gonna carry that load. I'm gonna take that stress and lay it down, 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 down. I ain't gonna carry that load no more. I ain't gonna carry that load. I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let go. Okay, what else do we got? Fear. I ain't gonna carry that fear no more. Let's do that. I ain't gonna carry that fear. I'm gonna take that fear and lay it down, down. carry that fear. I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let go. Okay, one more. What else? What you got? Doubt. I ain't gonna carry that doubt no more. I ain't gonna carry that doubt. I'm gonna take that doubt and lay it down, 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 down. I ain't gonna carry that doubt no more. I ain't gonna carry that doubt. I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let go. All right. Thank you for playing with me. Okay, you may be seated. And at this time, we draw our attention to the prayer box in the lobby. It's a little blue box on the corner of the table, and that's where you may leave your personal prayer requests. And our prayer chaplains will take those and we'll pray over them, and we'll submit the names to Silent Unity, where they'll be prayed over for 30 days. Our prayer chaplain here today is Sylvia, and she'll be available after the service for your personal prayers. And please do know that we love to pray with you, right, Sylvia? So please do take advantage of her offering today of that. So you can also call Silent Unity for your personal prayers any day of the week. There's also an app, Be Unity. If you put your prayer request in, you can get one prayer back by email, which is wonderful. You send it out to people who you're praying for, things like that. So let us breathe into this moment, into those things that are on our hearts today. Any concerns that we may have about ourselves, about our loved ones, or about our world. We do take them into the space of peace, into that place of all is well, where we let go of our perceptions and we embrace divine order, releasing our concerns into the loving care of the Christ Spirit, knowing that all of our prayers are answered. And so it is. Thank you, God. Amen. And now will you please prepare with me for a time of meditation. Oh, Spirit, guide me deep inside me. Take me to my heart place, the place of ease and grace. Breathe in this moment, this sacred moment. I am peace. I am renewed.
Today's meditation is based on Lesson 122 from A Course in Miracles. So breathe and relax. What could you want that forgiveness cannot give? Do you want peace? Forgiveness offers it. Do you want happiness? A quiet mind, a certainty of purpose, and a sense of worth and beauty that transcends the world? Do you want care and safety and the warmth of sure protection always? Do you want a quietness that cannot be disturbed, a gentleness that never can be hurt, a deep abiding comfort and a rest so perfect it can never be upset. All this forgiveness offers you and more. It sparkles on your eyes as you awake and gives you joy with which to meet the day. It soothes your forehead while you sleep and rests upon your eyelids so you see no dreams of fear and evil, malice and attack. And when you awake again, it offers you another day of happiness and peace. All this forgiveness offers you and more. Let us rest in the silence as we ponder these words. Open your eyes today and look upon a happy world of safety and peace. Forgiveness is the means by which this world comes. In quietness, it rises up to greet your open eyes and fill your heart with deep tranquility as ancient truths, forever newly born, arise in your awareness. And what you remember then can never be described. Yet your forgiveness offers it to you. All the complexities that the world has spun of fragile cobwebs disappear before the power and the majesty of this extremely simple statement of truth. Forgiveness offers everything I want, now and forevermore. Amen.
Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it all go. All the fears and the doubts, all the pain. All the wounds, feelings of being alone. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it all go. All the shame and the guilt, all the tears, all the blame. feelings of being outside. Surrender, let it go. Don't you know God is here? 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 Let it all go. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it all go. All the thoughts of disease, all the lies, all the blame, feelings of being alone. Surrender, let it go. Don't you know God is here? 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 Let it all go. Open your heart, invite in the light. Open your mind, surrender, surrender. Let it all go. Let it all go.
One of my favorite types of jokes are the ones that begin with, how many whatever does it take to change a light bulb? And I have been collecting the best ones of these for many years, including, how many unity ministers does it take to change a light bulb? The answer to that one is 4. The first one to affirm it, the second one to visualize it, the third one to actually do it, and the fourth one to hug everybody who participated. This past week, I added a new joke to my collection. And in honor of October and Halloween, I'm sharing it with you. It goes like this. How many witches does it take to change a light bulb? And the answer is, change it into what? Oh, that was a surprise. It was an original take. I love it. Change it into what? And though it may not be apparent, these jokes are germane to today's talk. Unity is sometimes called practical spirituality. It's described as having simple principles that can be applied by everyone to improve their everyday lives. And this is true. We discussed two of these principles earlier in the service, that being forgiveness and affirmations. But there's a catch. The reason that these simple practices are effective is that they are based on deep, mystical, powerful definitions of reality, time and space, human consciousness, and God-mind. The writings of Charles Fillmore and other Unity authors, as well as other spiritual books such as A Course in Miracles, explain those deep principles well. Today's talk draws from two of the daily lessons in A Course in Miracles, Lesson 26 and 23. Lesson 26, my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. You know, we don't like that one because Unity doesn't like the word attack. We like our words to be soft around the edges. But we're going to stick with it and hear what it means. And Lesson 23, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. And you may ask, why should you want to escape from the world you see? And this is where we enter esoteric thinking. The world is a symptom. The mind is the cause. The world we see is a reflection of our thoughts and beliefs. It is an illusion. I guarantee you this, it is not real. We read in the New Testament that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, or that the kingdom of God is within us. Now, if you were to describe the kingdom of heaven, would it include war and violence and disease and poverty and all those things that plague us here on earth? It would not. So obviously, the world we see is not the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is present, but it's behind a veil of illusion caused by the erroneous or error beliefs that we hold individually and collectively. That's the most important thing you can learn in Unity. Now, about error thinking. Truth tells us that you and all others are God's perfect creation, that you are entitled to all things good, that you are loved without limit, you are perfect in your imperfection, you are invulnerable to all harm, and any belief other than these is an attack thought. So they're not just the things that you might think an attack thought was, like, that guy's no good, or where'd you get that dress? It's much broader than that, and what they include in attack thoughts. When we believe that we are less than, or when we believe that we can be victims, we create the life circumstances that mirror these beliefs. And that takes us back to the idea that our attack thoughts are attacking our invulnerability. Now, I like the way Lesson 23 from A Course in Miracles explains it. It's a little bit softer. And the title of that lesson is, I Can Escape from the World That I See by Giving Up Attack Thoughts. This idea contains the only way out of fear that will ever succeed. Nothing else will work. Everything else is meaningless. But this way cannot fail. Every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. You know you are powerful beyond measure, don't you? Every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. It is with your thoughts, then, that we must work if your perception of the world is to change. If the cause of the world you see is attack thoughts, you must learn that it is these thoughts which you do not want. There is no point in lamenting the world. There is no point in lamenting the world. You know what that means? In grieving over all the suffering in the world. There's no point in it. There is no point in trying to change the world. It is incapable of change because it is merely an effect. But there is indeed a point in changing your thoughts about the world. Here you are changing the cause, and the effect will change automatically. Okay, one more line from this reading. You see the world that you have made, but you do not see yourself as the image maker. Now, let's discuss this odd term, overcoming. Jesus in John 16:33 said, I have overcome the world. In the book of Revelation, and we use this particular quote a lot in our white stone ceremony. Each New Year we get a white stone with our new name on it. This is, to the one who overcomes, I will give a new name. And this means overcoming. I have conquered the illusion of the world. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of the Unity Movement, wrote in Keep It True Lent, the work which I have to do as an overcomer for the world is to help establish a new race consciousness, a new heaven and a new earth. In order to conquer the illusion of the world, we must forgive. That which we do not forgive in others or ourselves keeps us bound to a past which does not exist. When we believe that any person or circumstance can take our good away from us, we are believing that the world is real. We may still have difficulty in actually figuring out the mechanics of forgiveness. I know I do. You know, ministers always preach about what they need to learn. Always. So here are some techniques that may aid you in your quest for forgiveness. You can mentally cut the energetic bands that connect you to the memory or the person or the event that you hold resentments for. Just visualize and then sever. You can realize that the past exists only in your mind. You can pray for the willingness to forgive. Notice that little trick in there. You don't pray for forgiving, you pray for the willingness to forgive. That's an old AA trick. You can create denials and affirmations that are specific for your situation, such as, I love that any attack thoughts about lack or illness have no power over me. Or, I love that I have released all resentments about my childhood. And to forgive yourself, you ask yourself, in this event that you're still feeling guilty about, ask yourself, would you do the same thing today? And if you wouldn't, then you've already learned the lesson. Let it go. Now, each year, we have a New Year's burning bowl ceremony. And this ritual entails writing those things we want to release and then placing them in the flames. This is throughout Unity. Last year, Lisa and her family hosted a bonfire at their house for this ritual. And we're excited to share that on Sunday, December 31st, time is an illusion. The Lawsons are once again inviting the church to a bonfire for our burning bowl at their house. And so one of the forgiveness techniques that you may use would be to start a list. Start a list of the things you will be releasing into the flames of that bonfire on New Year's Eve. As we asked earlier, how many witches does it take to change a light bulb? And then the question came, to change it into what? We are changing. We are changing into overcomers. We're reclaiming the memory of our mission here on the earth plane. And as we follow in the footsteps of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, we become aware that the work we have to do is to help establish a new race consciousness, a new heaven and a new earth. You each are indispensable. You are cherished. And you are assured victory as you reclaim true vision. So go in peace. And thus ends the lesson. God bless you.
My daily bread, forgive me all my trespasses, and lead me not into dismay, but let me pray upon the highest hill. Let me know the beauty of thy will, and from it let me not stray, but deliver me from negativity. Baptize me in your majesty. Christen me with the love that is free. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. When I realize that we are one, and only with these eyes do I see. Thy word is heard from mountain high, in valleys, through summer skies, in lands of war and lands of peace. From Catholic saints to Hindu names, from Buddhist chants and Zen refrains, bless all the paths our feet walk to be free. from negativity. Baptize me in your majesty. Christen me with a love that is free. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. When I realize that we are one, and only with these eyes do I see. Baruch Adonai, Om Shanti El Shaddai, Om Namah Shivaya. Baruch Adonai, Om Shanti El Shaddai, Om Namah Shivaya. Give me this day. And at this time, do we have someone? Can someone grab the usher bag? I guess B is on it today. Thank you, B. So at this time, we do bless our offerings, knowing we're going to affirm together, God is my source and nourishes me in every good and perfect way. And let's say that again. God is my source and nourishes me in every good and perfect way. And please do know that your offerings do support this ministry, and we are so very grateful for all that you give, whether it's here at Sylvan Community Center or online on our website, unitycitrusheights.org, or by mail at our P.O. Box. So thank you so much for your generous service, which makes this community happen. We will now sing our song as B passes the basket around, which is Divine Love Flowing Through Me. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And again, divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all I receive, and all that I am. Freely, freely I have received, freely, freely I give. Divine love through me blesses all that I have, all that I give and receive. Freely, freely I have received, freely, freely I give. Divine love through me blesses all that I have, all that I give and receive.
I love that little song. I'm glad we started doing our blessing that way. A few announcements this morning. You know, each quarter we select a recipient for our outreach program. And we are going to, this last quarter of the year, be honoring the HEART program, which stands for Homeless Assistance Resource Team. It's in Citrus Heights. We supported them several years ago, too. And there'll be more information about that. I've contacted them already, and we'll share a lot of things with you. I wanted to let you know that the recipients of last quarter's outreach, Days for Girls, we are going to leave the website open for your donations through Saturday, because then we're going to add up everything that has been donated and cut them one check for it. So you may Is there anybody here that doesn't know what Days for Girls is? I see some puzzles, look. All right. It's an organization that makes washable, reusable sanitary products for girls in underdeveloped countries. And it's a wonderful, wonderful cause. We've really enjoyed our quarter with them. And Heart will be coming next, and we'll keep you posted. Now, next Sunday is a fabulous Sunday, fabulous. We have started, now that we're back in person and kind of making a springing back from the pandemic, having our community Sundays once in a while. And we used to have like a monthly potluck. Now we have a community Sunday with a potluck and a potlatch. A potlatch is a giveaway table. You bring the things you are ready to release, and then you take other people's junk home with you. And it's so much fun, new junk. What is going to make this one even specialer is that our youth team, our YOU, are going to be participating in this service. Lisa's got them all rehearsed. They're going to be helping with the music and reading the daily word and doing a few other things. And also staying, it's going to be a true community Sunday for our potluck and our potlatch. You might bear that in mind when you're thinking about what you could bring. We have a sign-up sheet for the potluck on the table in the lobby. So if you know what you're going to bring, please sign up today, and then we'll take it home and figure out how to fill in the gaps. But these are mainly boys, not all, but mainly boys in our youth team. The things that you're ready to release, you might think about what would delight a boy to receive for free. So that's next week on the 8th. On the 15th, Sky Nelson Isaacs, and most of you know him as our guest musician on Zoom. He, several times a year, performs for us, and he's also given the talk in the past. He's going to be here in person, and he's going to be our guest speaker, and Lisa will be our musician. Sky's topic is Beyond Illusion. He's written a book on synchronicity. He is, in addition to being a musician, he's a physicist. He's a scientist. He knows things. And so I think his talks are always very interesting, especially if you have a scientific bent of mind. Now, for a really big news is that starting on Tuesday, October 17th, Lisa and I are going to begin teaching a class together. And we're calling it Mystical Prosperity, based on the book and other books too, called Even Mystics Have Bills to Pay. Can you identify with that? Even Mystics Have Bills to Pay by Jim Rosemurgy. It's a 6-week class. There's going to be a week off for Halloween. And the special treat is that we had already planned on Tuesday to have a holiday wreath-making workshop on November the 14th. It'll be here. We've done this in the past more than once. I have got wreath supplies filling up my garage because this is something I have a passion for. It's included in the class as part of your prosperity. Other people are welcome to come for $25. And then we were thinking that we would schedule one of our artist showcases shortly thereafter, and the people who made wreaths can bring them and show them to everybody if they are so inclined. So this is all very exciting. You can tell we've got things planned clear to the next year, because this is who we are. Today, after the service, we're going to take a 15-minute break, comfort break, and if you need chat with your friends, get coffee, whatever you need to do. And then we're going to settle down, including the people who are with us on Zoom, and we're going to set up a laptop on the table so they're part of it, and have a discussion about today's talk. I have created several discussion questions, which we will have up on the screen, and they'll just be like to, prime the well and give people an opportunity to share their reaction to it. Because I know that was a challenging talk for a lot of people. I know that. And so we'll have a time of discussion. And we plan to do this whenever we're not doing something else after the service, whenever we're not having a potluck or like that. And then, you think we should talk about Jim's? That's October 29th, isn't it?
Now you said something.
Oh, I guess I should. Jim Conley?
Jim Foley.
Foley. You may know him. He helps with setup at least once a month, so he's here then. He is a psychologist, and one of the things he likes to teach is lucid dreaming techniques. So I think it's on October 29th. He's going to give a 1-hour class after the service for us here. So there's a lot of things to look forward to. And another thing, if you weren't here last Christmas, you gotta know that we love Christmas. You should see what we do to this room every Sunday during that Christmas season, and you will know that you have been Christmas after you've come to church in December. All right, so I think that's it. If Lisa would lead us in the peace song, we'll circle up for that.
So please rise and circle up. We're going to sing Let There Peace Be Peace on Earth. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now for our prayer for protection, we know that
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Got a good thing going on around here. Got a good thing going on around here. You can see it on each and every face. There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place. We got a good thing going on around here. We got a good thing going on. We got a good thing going on. We got a good thing going on. We got a good thing going on around here. Yeah, all right. Ooh, I love the singing. So everybody who's still